Somewhere between your shower and your pillow, one simple mistake could quietly raise your stroke risk while you sleep. No chest pain, no warning, just a slurred word, a heavy arm, or a room that won't stop spinning. If you're over 60, this isn't scare talk. It's what I see in my clinic week after week. I'm Dr. David Whitman, a neurologist and stroke specialist, and today I'm revealing the 5 most dangerous showering mistakes that silently raise stroke risk in older adults. These aren't rare medical oddities. They're everyday habits. Things almost every senior does without a second thought. And yet, in the wrong context, they can thicken your blood, spike your pressure, or rob your brain of oxygen during its most vulnerable hours. Quick pulse check before we dive in. If you've always believed a shower is always safe no matter what, type 1 in the comments. If you've ever wondered whether timing, temperature, or hydration might matter more after 60, type 0. I want to see where our community stands. And while you're here, hit subscribe to Senior Vitality Hub so you never miss strategies that protect your brain and extend your independence. Stay tuned, because mistake number 1 is the one most people do to relax, yet it may be doubling your risk overnight. First on our list, showering late at night. It feels so harmless, maybe even healthy. You've had a long day, the house is quiet, and a warm shower before bed seems like the perfect way to relax. But after 60, your blood vessels don't adapt the way they used to. Instead of expanding and contracting smoothly, they become stiffer, less flexible, and far more fragile. Now here's the danger. When you step into a late-night shower, especially in a cool bathroom, your vessels can constrict suddenly. That constriction limits blood flow to your brain and heart, and the combination of cold surroundings plus hot steam can spike your blood pressure in unpredictable ways. For many seniors, that midnight shower is the silent trigger that sets up a stroke during sleep. I'll never forget one of my patients, Walter Jennings, a 70-year-old retired engineer. He believed that showering close to midnight helped him sleep better. But one winter evening, he stepped out of the bathroom, told his wife he felt a little lightheaded, and minutes later collapsed on the couch. The hospital scan confirmed it. A stroke. His doctors traced one of the major factors to sudden vessel constriction linked to his late-night shower routine. And the research backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that rapid temperature changes late at night are strongly associated with vascular events in older adults, especially strokes between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., the exact hours most strokes occur. So here's the safer option. Aim for earlier evening showers, ideally before sunset, or in a warm bathroom where the temperature stays steady. And if you must shower later, keep the room warm, keep it brief, and pay close attention to how your body feels. Let me ask you this. Do you usually shower at night? Type 1 if you do. Type 0 if you stick to mornings or afternoons. Your answers might help another senior realize they're not alone in this habit. And stay with me, because the next mistake might surprise you even more. It's something people try for health benefits, but for seniors, it can shock the body so hard it triggers a clot. Second on our list, cold showers in the morning. You've probably heard people swear by it, that icy splash first thing in the morning to feel awake and energized. And yes, cold showers do trigger a rush of alertness. But here's the truth. Most seniors are never told. That shock of cold water can quietly overload your heart and brain. Here's what happens. The instant cold water hits your skin, your blood vessels constrict sharply. For a young, flexible circulatory system, that's usually no problem. But after 60, with arteries that are stiffer and narrower, that sudden squeeze makes your heart pump harder against extra resistance. Blood pressure spikes, sometimes by 30 points or more in seconds. For fragile vessels, That's enough to dislodge plaque or trigger a clot. I remember one case clearly. Harold Simmons, age 72, had read about the health benefits of cold showers online. He started every morning with freezing water, proudly telling his friends how refreshed he felt. But after just 2 weeks, he collapsed on his front porch right after showering. Doctors confirmed he'd suffered a stroke. The culprit wasn't bad luck. It was the strain of repeated cold shock on an aging vascular system. And this isn't just storytelling. The European Journal of Applied Physiology published findings showing that cold water immersion causes significant blood pressure surges, changes that younger adults can handle, but older adults cannot. Those spikes are a hidden danger that can turn a simple shower into a medical emergency. So here's the fix. Instead of plunging straight into cold water, start with lukewarm and, if you want, gradually cool it down at the very end. That way, your body adjusts slowly without the shock. And if you already have high blood pressure, heart problems, or a history of stroke, skip cold showers altogether. Quick check-in. Have you ever tried a cold shower for health or energy? Type 1 if you have. Type 0 if you avoid them. And while you're at it, make sure you've subscribed to Senior Vitality Hub, because the next mistake may feel like the opposite problem. It's not cold water at all. It's staying in hot water too long, and for seniors, it can be just as risky. Third on our list, long hot showers. There's nothing more soothing than stepping into steaming water, letting it relax stiff muscles and calm the mind. For many seniors, it feels like medicine. But here's the danger few people talk about. Staying too long in hot water can quietly tip your body into stroke territory. Here's why. Heat makes your blood vessels expand. It's called vasodilation. At first, it feels pleasant, even relaxing. But after 10 or 15 minutes, that expansion can drop your blood pressure so low that your brain and heart don't get enough circulation. For younger adults, the body compensates quickly. But after 60, when your arteries are less elastic and your baroreceptors, the sensors that regulate blood pressure, respond more slowly, this drop can be dangerous. Take Margaret Lewis, a 69-year-old I once treated. She loved soaking in the tub after gardening, often for 30 minutes or more. One evening, she stood up after a long, hot bath and immediately felt faint. Within moments, she collapsed. At the hospital, her scan showed she'd suffered a transient ischemic attack, a mini stroke triggered by the combination of vessel dilation and low blood pressure. She recovered, but she told me, "Doctor, I thought relaxing in hot water was the safest thing I could do." The research is clear. A study in the Journal of Physiology found that extended hot water immersion caused significant blood pressure drops and impaired circulation, effects that become more pronounced with age. So, what's the safer path? Keep showers warm, not scalding, and limit them to 10 to 15 minutes. If you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or notice your heart racing, step out immediately. For added safety, keep a shower chair nearby or a sturdy rail to hold onto. Let me ask you this. Do you ever lose track of time in the shower? Type 1 if you often stay longer than 15 minutes. Type 0 if you keep it short. And while you're commenting, hit that like button so YouTube shares this message with more seniors who deserve to know. And stay tuned, because the next mistake doesn't involve hot or cold water at all. It's something much simpler, showering while dehydrated. And for older adults, that can be one of the most dangerous traps of all. And don't go anywhere, because the next mistake has nothing to do with water temperature at all. It's something much simpler and far more common. In fact, the very last mistake on this list is the one I see most seniors unknowingly do every single week. You'll want to hear it, because fixing it could save you from the kind of stroke that strikes in your sleep. Fourth on our list, showering while dehydrated. Most people don't think twice about stepping into the shower without drinking water first. After all, it's not a workout, right? But here's the truth. For seniors, even mild dehydration can quietly thicken your blood, strain your circulation, and set the stage for a clot that strikes while you sleep. Here's why it matters. As we age, our sense of thirst weakens. By the time you actually feel thirsty, your blood is already more concentrated. Thicker blood flows sluggishly, and sluggish blood clots more easily. Add the warm steam of the shower, which makes you sweat just enough to lose more fluids, and the problem compounds. What starts as a normal routine can become the silent trigger for a stroke. I'll never forget Betty Harris, a 76-year-old who was in remarkable shape for her age. She walked daily, ate well, and prided herself on staying independent. But she admitted she hated drinking water, said it made her feel bloated. One morning after her shower, she suddenly developed slurred speech and weakness on one side. At the hospital, doctors confirmed she'd had a mild ischemic stroke. The likely culprit? Chronic dehydration combined with her warm morning showers. And the science backs it up. A study published in Neurology found that older adults with low daily fluid intake had significantly higher markers of clot formation, and those who consistently drank less than 1.5 liters per day faced an increased risk of ischemic stroke. The fix is simple, but powerful. Drink a glass of water about 15 minutes before you shower and another afterward. It doesn't need to be a huge bottle. 8 to 12 ounces is enough to keep blood flowing smoothly. Think of it as priming your circulation before you step into the steam. So let me ask you directly. Do you ever shower before drinking water? Type 0 if you often forget. Type 1 if you make hydration part of your routine. Your answers might help someone else realize how common this mistake really is. And don't go anywhere, because the final mistake is one that's especially dangerous. Showering when you're already feeling unwell. For seniors, that could turn a bad day into an emergency. Fifth on our list, showering when you already feel unwell. It might sound harmless, a warm shower to ease a headache, dizziness, or fatigue. But for seniors, this is one of the riskiest habits of all. When your body is already struggling, adding the stress of hot steam or sudden temperature changes can push it over the edge. Think about it. If you're dizzy, your brain is already getting less oxygen than it needs. If you're weak, your circulation is already under strain. Step into a hot shower in that condition and blood pressure can drop sharply. Step into a cold one and your vessels can constrict suddenly, spiking pressure instead. Either way, the brain pays the price, sometimes with a stroke. I'll never forget Mrs. Jenkins, a 65-year-old retired nurse. She'd been fighting mild headaches for weeks, brushing them off as just stress. One afternoon, she decided to take a warm shower to relax. Within minutes, she collapsed in the bathroom. At the hospital, doctors confirmed she'd had a mild stroke. They explained that the headache she ignored was actually an early warning sign, and the added strain of the shower tipped her over the edge. Research supports this as well. Doctors warn that ignoring warning signs like dizziness or sudden headaches is especially dangerous in seniors, since these often signal rising blood pressure or poor circulation. Layering temperature stress on top can multiply the risk. The safe approach is simple. If you feel dizzy, unusually tired, or develop a sudden headache, postpone the shower. Rest, hydrate, and monitor how you feel. If symptoms don't improve, call your doctor before stepping into the steam. The shower can wait. Your brain cannot. So let me ask you, have you ever pushed through a shower when you weren't feeling well? Type 0 if you have. Type 1 if you've learned to wait until you feel steady. Your answers could help others rethink what might seem like a harmless habit. And stay with me, because in the conclusion, I'll tie all 5 of these mistakes together and show you how small adjustments can transform your shower from a hidden risk into a daily routine that protects your brain. So here's the truth. Showering itself isn't the danger. It's how you do it, when you do it, and whether you listen to what your body is telling you. After 60, every small choice matters more. Let's recap. First, showering late at night, when your vessels are already less flexible and temperatures are cooler, can spike or crash your blood pressure. Second, jumping straight into a freezing cold shower shocks stiff arteries and can trigger sudden strokes. Third, soaking too long in very hot water dilates vessels and drops blood pressure dangerously low. Fourth, showering while even mildly dehydrated thickens your blood, making it easier for clots to form. And fifth, showering when you already feel dizzy, weak, or unwell can tip your body from barely coping into crisis. The good news? Each of these risks can be prevented with small, thoughtful changes. Warm your bathroom before showering. Choose lukewarm water instead of extremes. Drink a glass of water 15 minutes before stepping in. And above all, if your body is sending signals, a headache, dizziness, or sudden fatigue, listen. The shower can wait. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 mistakes surprised you the most? Type the number in the comments so we can see which habits seniors everywhere need to hear about first. And if you're ready to make one small change starting today, type 1 in the comments right now. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button so YouTube shows it to more people over 60 who need it. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Vitality Hub, because in our next video, I'll reveal one simple household routine that doctors say can cut stroke risk in half. You don't want to miss it. I'm Dr. David Whitman, neurologist and stroke specialist. Walk wisely into your mornings, shower safely, and above all, protect your brain. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or a qualified health professional about any questions you may have regarding your health, medical conditions, or before making changes to your exercise, diet, or medication routines. If you experience sudden weakness, slurred speech, vision changes, or severe headache, call emergency services immediately.